for our Spotty the dog, who's very kindly deigned to bring along his owner. Hello, Peter. How are you? Her owner, I should say. Right, Peter. You're a man of mystery to me a little bit, because I don't know much about you. Well, as a kid, what were you like?
Horrible, I think, like most kids. I'm glad I've got girls, actually. I don't think I could live with a small boy. I was one of those horrible kids who was forever collecting things, you know, caterpillars and pets, and I had this shed that was just full of all sorts of things that made my mum go, ah! And, you know, I sort of found, I think as I came into sort of adolescence, I found that it attracted girls, actually. I could get girls in there.
So there was method.
There was a method that I hadn't realised at 8.
My spider.
Yeah, come and look at my mice, you know. And unfortunately, the girls got the hang of what I was up to.
I was going to say, were you lonely for a long time?
No, I was a sort of an active sort of kid. I used to play a lot of cricket and a lot of football, but I think primarily I got into hill walking. Yes. As well.
Were you like me? I mean, for yonks, I just had no idea of what direction I wanted to go in. Even at 20, I didn't know.
No, I always knew what I wanted to do. From the time when I was about 4, I had scrapbooks full of animals.
Really?
Or pictures of animals, should I say. And I wanted to be a vet.
Yeah.
And the realisation, I think, dawned on me in the wonderful British education system that at the time when you have to choose your subjects, the realisation appeared to me that I was extremely good at biology, extremely good at languages, but absolutely lousy at physics and chemistry.
Yes.
Which are the things you need to go on and
you
be
see,
a vet.
I mean, I've often thought that's one of the dafter things, that you were a guy who loved animals, prepared to work on the aspect of animals that really counted. Yeah. But oh no, you couldn't be a vet because you needed a subject you were lousy at.
Yeah, that's right, and that realisation, in fact, came as quite a shock to me that I really wasn't going to make the grade at physics. Especially.
There's no rationale to that, is there? As far as I know, there's no rationale.
I think it's a very sad thing that we do expect kids at school to specialise so early. I mean, I'm much more in favour of the European system where you can go through everything up to 16, 18.
Yeah. Well, I believe they're going to bring that in, and you know, for Peter Neville, the baccalaureate, which is the system we might well be. Yeah. Would have suited you, yeah? It
would have suited me better. I'm not sure that I would have, now I know more what the veterinary undergraduate degree is about, I'm not sure that I would have been any better for it. I think the vets are right to maintain these high standards. Whether that leaves a lot of vets, I think, very dissatisfied with small animal practice because it is, or can be, routine. Is another matter. But
what is it? You see, we were just speaking to Dr. John, and one of his therapies was engraving on glass and so on. It's purely guesswork for me. When you are with animals or working with animals, it's a kind of therapy thing as well, isn't it? You forget all other aspects of your life or problems.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the luckiest guy in the world because having not gone to veterinary school, I actually did get into veterinary school in France in the end, but they did the French thing and changed the rules on me, and they had this terrible sort of neither coming nor going situation. So I left and ran an animal shelter in Greece for a year.
Did you?
While I sort of reassessed and remodelled my my designs of life. And I came out and got into animal behaviour, animal psychology, if you like, at a time when it was becoming of interest to pet owners. I think primarily this has been a consumer-driven thing. That people didn't want to throw away their animals; they wanted help if they had problems.
Yes.
And it turned into a very lucky, right place, right time, right person, if you like. And I was very lucky that I was able to extend a career into working not just with animals, not just on the sort of the scientific side, the ethology side, which is the science of behaviour, but also with people, with the relationships that they have with their animals, which are not all about child substitution. You know, as you know, the vast majority have our pets as mates, as companions, and also for therapy, as you say.
Right, we now fully accept it in 1995, but did it take a lot of persuading that we needed pet behaviourists, if you like, or animal behaviourists?
Oh, you bet.
Did you have to break down a lot of ramparts to get accepted?
Yeah, huge amounts, because we chose very deliberately to try and keep the profession of animal behaviour as an ethical profession, and to that effort we had to ally ourselves to the British Psychological Society and the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons and say, okay, you guys administrators, I know you think that we put animals on couches and say, how was your childhood? But in fact, we don't. We want to make this a much more clinical, hardline science, as well as a...
Why are you rubbing against my leg? Yes. You must have a deep-seated problem.
No, I was once asked to write a book by my publishers called Pet Sex, because they figured that you know, Neville writes animal books, and what else sells? And apparently, if you can write a book about a cat that has a swastika on its forehead, that practices first aid.
Now, wasn't that Golfing for Cats, Alan Coren?
Yeah,
with a swastika on it. That's it. Golfing for Cats.
And all you got to do is get sex in there somewhere. So
that's
said,
right.
You go off and write this book. And I said, I can't. I said, I will not compromise my hard, serious man of animal behaviour image. And they, you know, they did the clink, and I went, it's got a widget, and wrote it. You know.
I don't know whether you're the sort of chap that plans his future or just, you know, take day by day. What do you see your future at all? Would you be able to map it out for us at all? Or? Well, there's a man.
That's on cue. Now that's
right on cue.
Do you know how long it took me to train her to do that?
Spotty is now your future. That's for sure.
No, I never stop thanking the good Lord that I am the luckiest person on earth, because work with animals keeps coming my way, whether it's books or travelling or studying or giving lectures abroad. I'm spending most of the second half of this year.
So maybe
overseas.
things have worked out for the best. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, Michael Payne would tell you that being a vet is, as you know, not all happiness and contentment. It's hard work. It can be misery as well, sheer misery.
Absolutely. Again, I think it comes back to this being in the right place at the right time. That I'm now known as an animal psychologist, and therefore I tend to get asked to do things like opening pet shops and that sort of thing. And lecturing at veterinary congresses as the official voice of animal behaviour, even though I'm not a vet. And I think when I got to about 31, I realised that I was very glad I wasn't a vet, because I had so many more opportunities open to me.
We're going to have to leave it there, but maybe you stay on a bit. But either way, nice working with you. I hope you enjoyed working at Livewire.
I've had a great time. I mean, the one thing that I do want to say right at the end is, you know, people expect me to have the world's best behaved animal.
Express yourself.
And I got the worst one.
There you go.